Hi there, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Today, I am going to be taking a look at an album that I came to a little late, but not too late. It was just after the glory days were done. And I fell in love with this album. It is definitely one of the greatest heavy albums of all time. I don't want to call this a metal album. It's not a metal album. It is a heavy album. It is dark. It is heavy. It is fantastic. It is Danzig III, How the Gods Kill. Such an ominous name. Such a gorgeous album cover. Look at that. Look at that artwork. Fantastic. Magnificent. Glenn Danzig went solo. I actually got into the Misfits before I got into Danzig. I did it properly. But I got into both, honestly, thanks to Metallica. I have a buddy, though, that lent this CD to me, and that is how I heard it for the first time. I believe it was... it was Tim McCready, who was the prime minister of my high school. Our prime minister was a punk, but our punk liked hard rock, heavy metal, and that. He had lent me this album, and I took it home, and I threw it on, and I listened to it, and I fell in love with it, and I went out and bought it for myself a week or two later. And let's get into this wonderful album. So, the album opens up with Godless. Now, this is an interesting choice to start the album with because it is a slow intro. And I don't mean slow as in, kind of builds up. I mean, like, the tempo is slow on this one. And when it finally does kick in, it's just heavy but slow. It's this album really is a very goth album. It is, no one really puts Danzig into the goth category for the most part, but this album, most Danzig stuff could be goth considered, I think. Anyways, a lot of it. This Godless for sure. Godless is followed up by Anything. Beautiful song. I absolutely get mesmerized by the way that Glenn Danzig can croon a song. I mean, a man should not croon in metal, one would think, but Glenn Danzig does it with such gravitas and poetry. You can tell that he's picking up from the classics, Frank Sinatra or Elvis or, the true crooners of the day. But he does it on his own in his own unique way, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Anything just shows how talented and skilled he really is as a vocalist. Glenn Danzig does not have a huge range, but what he does with the range he has is fantastic. After that, we go to Bodies. Bodies is a little more old school, a little more Misfits-like, where it's a little punkish, a little... I don't mind Bodies. Not probably one of the weaker songs on the album, I think, but good tune. Now we get into the album's title track, How the Gods Kill. Oh man, this is some Black Sabbath inspired heavy ass scary shit, man. Just that part where he go, it's Glenn, so he does that beautiful build-up using his voice, as I've already mentioned, gets that croon thing, and then he just hits that line where, tell me How the gods kill. Just fucking yes! Yes! You know, I mean, just so heavy and so hard and oh, yeah. Sorry. Got a little worked up there, you know what I'm saying, man? That's, yeah, I got a little worked up there. What can I say? Okay. So, now, it's great that How the Gods Kill is where it is on the album. It is the perfect point to put it on the album as a fifth track because, you know, the way the album's moved and flowed at that point. The only thing I find surprising is they go from How the Gods Kill into Dirty Black Summer. Dirty Black Summer has got to be, next to Mother, one of Danzig's biggest hits. And Dirty Black Summer is a great song. The guitar riffs, John Christ is such an underrated guitarist. But he's underrated because he went to country music. Or at least he went to country music for a while. I think he might have come back to metal. I don't remember how that worked now. But John Christ was, you know, the dude could riff. And he does riff well in here. And he can play well. It's fantastic. And Dirty Black Summer, man, that guitar work is just beautiful and sexy. Oh, and the song itself is just great. It really is. Left Hand Black, it follows that up, and Left Hand Black is, it's one of those songs, I really like it when I'm listening to it, but when I'm looking at the album tracks and I'm thinking about it, I really don't, it doesn't click the same way you might think it would. Heart of the Devil. Cool tune, man. I love the delivery. I love the way the music's written on this song. I like the fact that Glenn Danzig knows how to deliver lyrics without the music and how to deliver his lyrics where he interplays with the music. You know, almost like he does a call and return between the vocals and the music sometimes. And it's fantastic. And when you go with his crooning style on top of that, it just adds that much extra depth to it. Gives the poetry that much more poetry to breathe and move forward. Very, well, he is very much a crooner. You can definitely tell he also draws major influences from Jim Morrison. Not just lyrical content, because lyrical content definitely takes major inspiration from Morrison. But also just the way that he works with the music and the lyrics themselves and how poetic those get on their own with the stories that he likes to tell in each individual song. Sistinas. Slow song. Good slow song. I really dig it in the flow of this album. It slows down the album just perfectly at just the right time. But overall, it is not a song that I'm overly fond of. It's not a song that really works for me. It doesn't get me going. That goes into Do You Wear the Mark. I like Do You Wear the Mark. It picks the tempo back up, get you going, get you pumping. But it's a bit of an album filler, but it's a good album filler, you know? And then the album finishes with When the Dying Calls. I absolutely love When the Dying Calls. Realistically, this album the whole way around is fantastic, but How the Gods Kill, Dirty Black Summer, and When the Dying Calls, those three songs right there, that make the whole album for me. And When the Dying Calls is just the perfect way to finish off this album. It is. I love everything about it. I love the way it was done. I love the way it was produced. It was the last true heavy / metal kind of album that Glenn did. After this, he starts going more industrial, starts incorporating a lot more computer generated music instead, a little more computer generated sampling and sounds and stuff. This was the last pure band kind of album, and it's a fantastic album. If you are going to start anywhere with Danzig, this is where you need to start. You should start with the Misfits first, but that's for another time. So, Danzig III, How the Gods Kill. This is a must-have album for any metal collection. You cannot have a good, solid metal collection without it. Go out and get it. Until next time, folks. I love you all. Peace and take care. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and feel free to leave me your comments.